A new day in Lochclan ran as smoothly as the last. An apprentice ceremony was held that afternoon. Ragged Paw, Spectral Paw, and Berry Paw all getting assigned new mentors. After a short pause between the three, Herringstar addressed another apprentice, a young tabby Tom who had just recently stepped up.
Lastly, Hyenapaw, you are an honest and brave apprentice of Lochclan, and we wish to help you throughout this life you carry.
Another? Dimgaze glanced over his shoulder at the brown tabby apprentice.
Dimgaze, please step forward.
Slowly, the lean-bodied warrior got to his paws, trying his best not to quiver as he stood.
You almost had it, Dim.
I know you are more experienced than the other mentors I've assigned, but nonetheless I have faith that your intelligence and history shall help Hyenapaw greatly.
He hesitated on responding at first.
I will do my best, just as I had before, Herringstar.
Dimgaze is going to have a word with Herringstar after this.
Moving to the front of the crowd, the senior Tom crouched down to gently press his nose to Hyenapaw's.
I'll speak with you soon.
Hyenapaw huffed, eyebrows furrowing. He shrugged, stepping back. His paw steps eerily silent, Dimgaze would approach Herringstar from behind. He didn't want to bombard the leader, yet his scrunched stare gave away his true thoughts.
I know that look, Dimgaze. What ails you?
May I have a chat with you, with a bit more privacy?
Of course, my friend. Will my den be enough?
Sitting right below Herringstar's gaze, Dimgaze tried his best to hold back any hiss or snarl that tried to fight its way into his meow.
Don't you remember what has happened in the past? The last 2 apprentices I've trained had been killed during their apprenticeship under my care.
Dimgaze let his head lower in a mixture of shame and guilt.
Do you really trust me to train another?
Okay, notes taken, Dimgaze said. I'm so good at this.
Hyenapaw trusts you. They know that you're the perfect cat to train them. Your past does not tamper with what you can do for your future, Dimgaze.
If you trust this upon me, Herringstar, then I will put my all. I will not let Hyenapaw fall victim like my other apprentices had.
Herringstar smiled.
I have no doubt you'll succeed.
I'll see to it that I keep you updated with Hyenapaw's training.
I cannot wait to hear it.
Dimgaze offered a small smile to match the leader's.
Okay, so we're killing Hyenapaw, right?
Dimgaze stopped right in front of the tabby apprentice. Turning to face Hyenapaw, he meowed to them.
Get some good rest. We'll be starting battle training tomorrow. I hope your last mentor had taught you well enough to keep up with my teachings.
The warrior arose at the crack of dawn, tucking a few bits of extra moss around his nestmate before rising to his paws. A very bored-looking warrior stood just outside the apprentice's den. His tail lashed side to side as he impatiently awaited Hyenapaw. If that shrimp didn't get up this instant.
Shrimp.
I told you to be up at the crack of dawn.
You told me nothing.
Dimgaze passed a stern look to the young feline.
Come along.
Here was fine, Dimgaze thought as he sniffed about, far enough from camp to give them space.
All right, how much were you taught about combat?
Combat, fighting and all that. I was certainly taught something.
The senior Tom narrowed his eyes at Hyenapaw's response. It was certainly a reply.
Then you can manage a small spar?
Hyenapaw leaned back, bewilderment clear when Dimgaze suddenly fell into a crouch.
Of course I can take a spar. I'm not that untrained.
Then show me everything you've got.
In an instant, the Tom's figure seemed to vanish in the shadows beside them, creeping swiftly behind Hyenapaw. Leaping into the light, Dimgaze didn't give Hyenapaw any time to think before he landed atop of him. Hyenapaw squeaked, an undignified noise to him, as he dropped to his belly. They twisted around, lashing a paw out. He glared and huffed as he swiped blindly whilst trying to free himself.
There is a much better way to get out of a pin.
Moving off him, Dimgaze stood tall as he let Hyenapaw get to their paws.
You flip over and use your back legs.
Dimgaze flopped down to demonstrate.
Uh-huh.
He'd hop back to his feet.
Let's try one more go for today. You make the first move.
A sudden screech caused Dimgaze to falter. The sound of agony pierced through their part of the forest, reaching the warrior and apprentice. He'd turn with perked ears, his stare directed straight towards Lochclan camp. Not good.
Let's return.
Dimgaze meowed, his words echoing with nervousness as he sped off back to camp.
Where's the body?
The scent of death instantly reached his nose. Dimgaze spun around to try and locate it.
Dimgaze?
I swore I heard.
Dimgaze glanced back at Herringstar. Herringstar looked at Dimgaze, then to the nursery.
Get the kits out of the nursery.
Dimgaze quickly made his way over to Hyenapaw.
Help me gather the kits. It will give you something to take your mind off all this.
Tickle Kit is AFK.
Tickle Kit?
I'm gonna tickle you. Devil emoji.
Whoa. Guys, get this freak away.
Security. Punches.
Snowdrop, my savior.
My mentor AA Tinkler.
Double devil emoji. Hat. They call me the Tinkle Monster.
The what monster?
Tinkle?
I'm gonna cry. How did you make a worse typo?
The Tinkler. Coming soon to theaters.
It okay, I'm Tinkler.